Denon, welcome to the Capitol Dance Towers, my friend.
Nice one, Jam. Thanks for having me on, man.
It's a pleasure. I think we need to start off right at the very beginning. Where did your love for music come from?
If we're taking it right back, it'd be my mum playing Sean Paul in the Peugeot 206 or something when I was about 5.
What's Sean Paul tune?
What's the Disney one? When you're gonna give it up to me.
Ah! Do you know
Yeah,
what?
classic.
That needs a bassline rework.
It does. A nice little edit on that. Nice little womp on it, yeah.
What?
Yeah. I think that can work, to be fair.
You are the man for that.
We'll have to give it a go. We're gonna have to now. I think he would take well to it, to be honest.
Sean Paul loves a bit of bassline.
Oh yeah.
He definitely does. He definitely does, especially the kind that you make, mate. Because I think, you might have started off listening to Sean Paul in your mum's Peugeot, but where did the love for making music come from?
Yeah, so then if we fast forward to when I was about 12, 13, started out rapping, grime, that sort of era, the Skepta sort of shutdown era.
Yeah.
That really inspired me in school. I was like, lunchtimes, like going into the studios and stuff, like freestyling, doing little cyphers. That's where my love for making music came from. And then I was going to studios in Birmingham, reggae studios called LX Studios, inspired by the Rasta guys there, making rap music, doing that for about 6 years.
Really?
While listening to bassline in the background and producing my own stuff. So I really learnt the game as a whole in terms of crafting music, etc. And then the kind of DJ producer thing naturally came about when I started raving, etc., going out properly, and just got into me that way, and wanted to make something for the clubs. You know what I mean?
I love that. Do you know what? I love that timeline because I think it feels like at each point that you were getting into these things, it was like at the peak. So when you were getting into grime, not only was it like the Skepta shutdown time, but also the West Midlands was on fire.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You had Socks, you had Devilman, you had
JK.
all of those, JK, you had all of these artists that were really putting on for Birmingham, for the West Midlands. And then obviously bassline was the sound. But yet you're still raking rap. I love that. That's a great story, man.
I mean, there's an interesting bit that I remembered that I wanted to bring up to you. So, when was it now? I think it is when you just came to Capitol.
Yeah.
I was doing this campaign for a song called Games, and this is a rap song. And I was like, yeah, I want to do these custom-made boxes. I got these wooden boxes. I got it laser engraved. I had Games by Denon Reed for MistaJam. I had them for a couple of key radio presenters I was rating at the time. I had custom M&Ms in there, I had custom deck of cards, I had all of this. And I think I came down the studio and I gave it, the back loading door.
Yeah.
I just gave it to a guy there. I said, would you mind passing this on to a MistaJam? He's gone, yeah. Obviously, I don't know where the hell that went. He must just been having the M&Ms, just like...
It didn't make it anywhere near me, I tell you that.
No. But, it's funny. So it's like a little full circle moment coming down and, really appreciate you having me on. And it's cool to be in here talking to you about some bassline.
Well, listen, it's not only cool to be talking to you, but also thank you for making me feel really old because you're like, when I was 11 and 12, Skepta shutdown time, I'm like, oh, Lord. By that point, I've been on radio for 15 years.
Bloody hell.
But when you've been playing this tune, I Need to Know Out, in the wild, what's the reaction been like when you've been playing it out live?
Oh, it's amazing. So that's where the track really grew. And obviously, as you know, knowing from the garage sort of stuff as well back in the day, these sort of records are born in the clubs, and that's where they grow up, and that's what I really love about the record. It can be played on the radio, Manan likes it, but also the ravers in the club still love it, even though it's getting on radio rotation, etc. And when I initially put it out, it was that every club show was like, people are knowing it more, people are belting out more and more, to the point where I can play less and less of the song, and to the point I'm go on, you just sing it for me, you know what I mean? So that's been really good for me, and it's amazing being able to play a song in front of 1,000, 2,000 people, whatever it be, and people sing it back to you, and it's something you've made. I don't know if there's a better feeling, to be fair.
So, listen, you've already told us the timeline of how you first got started, how you started making music. and the fact that you're a versatile producer. Do you think that versatility in the studio informs your sound?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think it's a commonplace thing now, you know, finding your right groove in modern day music and getting that to a point where people worldwide connect with it and it's your true self, etc. And that versatility keeps me on my feet, helps me stay fresh. I'm not locked into anything specific. I'm open sonically, you know what I mean? I can draw inspiration from Vibes Cartel. I could draw inspiration from Calvin Harris, Justin Bieber. It don't matter, you know what I mean?
Wait one second. I'm just thinking in my head of a Vibes Cartel and Calvin Harris record.
Ooh,
That'd
there's a
be
lot
sick.
of potential there. Yeah. 100%.
Oh, Denon Reed remix.
Yeah, we'd have to, wouldn't we?
You're part of the same label group now, so I think, Aaron, can we make that happen, please? Can we play some calls? In your posh jacket, you should be able to make that happen. Come on, lad. The thing for me about bassline is that I remember bassline first time round. I remember bassline before it was bassline when it was niche.
Yeah.
Named after the club in Sheffield, you know.
Definitely.
I remember, you know, the way that all of those garage genres were coming through and splintering off. And if it came from the north, felt like it was bassline. If it came from the Midlands, it felt like it was bassline. If it came from the south, it felt like it was speed garage. Whereas what we're in right now is speed garage seems to have had this resurgence. But now you're bringing bassline back to the mainstream because it's gone nowhere on the underground. Nowhere at all. Trust me. For anyone that's listening to this right now, you could have gone to a bassline rave 3 years ago, but you just didn't.
I've always said with Crew 2, I wanted it to be the modern day niche in the way that it's synonymous with bassline music. Crew 2, the logo, the aesthetic. You know, you go on YouTube and put niche and there's niche tunes and it's just one whole embodiment of a certain sound. And that's what I've wanted Crew 2 to be. And it's kind of shaping up to be that now, which is amazing to see. And, you know, getting my sonics attached to that and as well as others and really just embodying what is going off in the clubs right now, whether that's Leeds, Birmingham or when we come down London, you know what I mean? The kind of advent of social media nowadays has allowed that to be less regionally locked as opposed to back in the day where, you know, you'd have Echo in Birmingham or Niche in Sheffield or Casa Locos in Leeds. Because one of the good benefits of social media, obviously there's a lot of drawbacks, but is that fact that Tommy in Bristol knows about Crew 2 or in Edinburgh or, you know what I mean? It's a nationwide, it's a global thing now, so...
Or Miguel in Colombia.
Yeah.
He knows about it as well.
Yeah, or a great example of that is the Americans that are taking notice of our Need to Know, which is something I didn't expect to see originally because it is such a true bassline record, but they are appreciating British culture in that sense and learning about bassline and going, wow, we know drum and bass, you know, we know dubstep, we know a bit about jungle, garage, but this bassline thing, we're new to it, but we're taking it on in its truest form, which is amazing to me.
Like I say, the good thing that I like about this record is that it's reintroducing bassline to the mainstream. And it feels like there's a lot of other bassline producers that are like, they've been waiting for this moment and they've had records ready and waiting to go. TS7's one of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Thomas is great. I have him on a lot of Crew 2s and him and the team are amazing. And I think it's really good to see people like TS7 who was there when it started, you know, 17, playing in clubs and that. And now it's come back around and it's like we've still got the original guys there. And I still like to show a lot of love to, you know, the Jamie Duggans, the TS7s, the Sean Banger Scotts, etc. And it's great that everyone's kind of coming back with it. It's not like it's a new school thing, forget the old school, or the old school are like, push it aside. It's like, it's all coming back together.
Why do you think that this resurgence within the mainstream for bassline is happening now? What's special about this period of time?
Well, I can take a very self-indulgent answer in that and say Crew 2. And I think that is a large part of it, to be honest. We started Crew 2 in 2023, late 2023, and I really devoted my life last year, 2024, to bringing back bassline and putting it at the forefront, not sort of back burner idea and really championing that sound and that sonical presence really, with the wobbles and the deep basses and the melancholic vocals, because I think it really embodies the UK, you know. We look outside, we've got grey skies, terraced houses, you know what I mean? But then you have the odd sunny day that shines through, and that's the beauty of bassline, really. It really embodies that sort of UK culture of we hate it, but we love it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's not the best, but it's ours. You know what I mean? And I just think it should be celebrated more, hence why starting Crew 2 and really pushing the sound and trying to get it in clubs more and get it more prevalent and get it up there, you know, with the likes of drum and bass and tech house.
For anyone that's listening at home and they're thinking, I really love what you've done with Crew 2, I want to do something similar. Break down what's the process of you say you dedicated a year to it. Starting a brand is not easy. Starting a club brand
Yeah.
is even harder. And a label. And, you know, all of the things that come underneath it. Talk to me about the process of actually making it work.
Yeah, so I'm very, like, feet on the ground sort of person. So started it and it was just like, how can we get people through the door? I was messaging people discount codes. I was, you know, getting friends of friends, whatever I had to do. And it wasn't even really focused on the money. It was just like, how can we make the best experience for people? I don't care if the lineup costs X amount and it's taken in this amount. It doesn't matter. How can we make it the best night for people? And I think just nowadays making things the best customer experience possible is key to growing anything.
How many people showed up to the first event?
It was sold out at 100. I think we had a drop off of maybe like 40 or so. So it was only like, it was an upstairs in a pub in Digbuff called Dead Wax. But yeah, people just loved it from the start, really, just because we was that gap in the market. We was bringing bassline and there's such a demand for it, but no one was fulfilling it, especially with like a modern sort of fresh brand to it. And then it's just relentless from there, really. Just every day I was producing and every week I'd put out a song. I could make a song, start it on 1 p.m. Friday, put it out 4 p.m. the same day. It is just like so pirate and so just like authentically gritty and just like have it, you know what I mean?
I love that. And do you know what? It's testament to the fact of you start small and you then build up.
Yeah.
You've got to build your tribe.
Of course, yeah. You got to start from the ground up, and I think that's what I love about Crew 2 is we haven't skipped any steps, you know what I mean? We went from 100 to 200 to 600 to 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 sort of capacity. And it's all organic, you know, we don't do ads or anything. It's just people see it and want to come tell their friends, and it's just growing that way, really.
It also feels like right now when you've got the kind of the likes of Boiler Room and the sets that always go crazy on there, whether it be someone like Maluji or even like Marlon Hofstad, you hear the music that they're playing, it's not a million miles away from bassline. I'm looking forward to you doing your own.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think, you know, that sort of garagey, speed garagey sound, it's in the same family as bassline. Even like garage, I think it's all very much closely intertwined. And as we say with this record, it's kind of showing people, yeah, you got speed garage, you got your organy, fast sort of thing, but you've also got this deeper sound, and there's nothing wrong with it. It goes off, it resonates something deep within us. Don't matter who you are, it's that sort of tribal energy, that grit to it. And yeah, I think we're going to have a great year getting it on those global stages on the likes of Boiler Room and, you know, IB for Amnesia, whatever it be.
This reminds me of T2's Heartbroken.
Yeah, it's a big compliment. I mean, I did predict he was going to say that, and yeah, big up MistaJam for that one.
But I remember literally it was a club record, and it was how you couldn't cross that over, and it's too heavy. The vocal's nice, but I don't know. But the more that we played it, the more that people took to it, the more that other people started to play it, and you saw the numbers just grow and grow and grow in the same way this is growing for you.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, like, at first listen, someone that's never heard bassline might be like slightly taken back by the deeper wobbles to it, etc. But I think it really grows on people. It really kind of captivates people with the amazing top line and that underlying bass, and I think there defo is the similarities there. I mean, big up T2, that was the first to ever get that sort of commercial success with a bassline record, and hopefully this can, you know, get to those same sort of peaks.